Welcome back to the Balancing Act podcast. I'm Andy Temte. On the Balancing Act, we talk to business leaders and industry experts to explore the balancing acts we play in our professional lives and learn about the events that put rocket boosters behind their career success. Today, we have Gina Zapanta joining us. Gina earned her law degree at Loyola Law School in Los Angeles, is partner and co-founder of ZA Lawyers, and is the founder of Empowered with Gina. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Excellent. I ask all my guests this question. Before we get started, please tell our listeners your story.
Well, it's a long, beautiful, wonderful story that's still developing. I went to USC, undergrad, Loyola Law School, came out of law school not wanting to practice law. To my parents' chagrin, they thought I was nuts. And I ended up becoming a personal assistant for a billionaire at a private equity firm.
Okay.
I'm telling you, the story, it does a lot of this.
Yeah.
I didn't want to practice law. Just something in me knew that I did not want to work for someone in a law capacity, working at a desk, pushing paper, from what I understood law to be at that point. And so I become a personal assistant, which is basically a gopher doing stuff for a billionaire. Did that for 3 years. I passed the bar while I was there. And at that point, I'm now, overqualified to be a personal assistant, but I still didn't want to practice law. But I didn't know what I wanted to do other than my father being an orthopedic surgeon who at that point had a very successful practice with a partner. I said, if I'm going to work, I would rather my blood, sweat, and tears scale on and build on your blood, sweat, and tears. I have a vested interest in this. And my dad did not believe in nepotism, and he didn't want to hire me. And his partner was able to convince him. And I said, look, this is business. Okay, I get this.
Nice.
I might not love it. You might not like me in this position. It's business, no hard feelings. Let's just give it 3 months. Fast forward 10 plus years later, I became a director of an outpatient surgery center, which we owned at the time, and just really delved into the world of healthcare, orthopedic surgery, the nuances of ambulatory surgery center and credentialing and Medicare. And I figured if I could pass the bar, I could figure out healthcare. I saw the opportunity that we had the surgery center, the surgeons and therapy, and we had everything, a one-stop shop. I had the law degree. I had access to the doctors. I could get in rooms with lawyers quicker than a traditional marketer could because I was a lawyer. I was their colleague. So I just saw all these leverages and I put it together, created a business. And I worked with my dad for over 10 years until he passed away. And then my life took a big pivot, had 2 daughters during that time, married. When my dad passes away, I get a divorce. I have cervical cancer in between that time while I was pregnant, 7 months pregnant with my Valentina. Have surgery, hysterectomy. That was the end of that chapter. Get a divorce, and then very quickly meet my current husband, Mike Alder, a trial lawyer of Alder Law. And I had met him previously just through the workings of socializing and networking our business. But, it was nothing. It was ships passing in the night at that point. But when we reconnected at that time, the stars aligned. We just mentioned this earlier. The alignment was there. The timing was right. And 9 months later, we eloped in Vegas at a drive-thru during COVID.
Nice. Nice.
And then decided to start ZA Lawyers, our current law firm, together. His second, my first. So I finally decided to turn my law degree on and put the law hat on, having never practiced, but understanding that I knew how to run a successful business. And I knew my superpower was in scaling businesses, growing businesses, and marketing. So I figured, well, he has the know-how, the legal know-how. We just need to man the beast, man the machine, and then, go forward. And my husband and I together are just a power couple, truly. His heart and mind is very much aligned with how I grew up. Education, philanthropy, resource, give back to our community. We stand as examples of what's possible. And not just for people from a poor, low-income community, but people of divorce, people of cancer, people of, remarriage, blended families. None of this is easy. None of this is easy.
Now, Gina, if you had to pick one event in your life that was just a key accelerant, put rocket boosters behind your career, what would that be?
One of the rocket booster moments would be really going through cancer and looking really mortality very squarely in the face. I was in my mid 30s, and you're not thinking about mortality at that point. Truly, like you're not.
Right.
You think you're going to live forever. I think that just naturally hyper focused me. Well, not naturally, because a lot of people would fall apart. But for me, it hyper focused me into, oh my gosh, there is a finite amount of time here. The fear, the worry, the insecurities, the embarrassment, the wonder, the what if it doesn't work. It has no place because it's taking up these precious moments that are ticking away. So I have the choice every single day to stay in that worry, lacking mindset, or go for it. Just go for it. Just go for it. Who cares if you fail? You succeed because you fail. That's the point. So it was a very introspective time in my life, obviously, and then having my children and just looking at these little people, and I'm responsible for them, and this is the baseline of what they're going to understand of a successful, happy, self-loving woman to be. And that really, put fire under my ass, if you will.
Yeah.
To start making decisions intentionally.
Well, that's really cool because as you said, most people would fall in on themselves and begin to fall apart and woe is me, life is terrible. And, that is a path, but the path that you've chosen sounds like it's really created positive benefits for you and the community that surrounds you. So let's talk about that community that surrounds you and Empowered with Gina. Yeah. What's the primary driver behind its inception? And what's the primary outcome that your clients can expect from engaging with you?
So the primary driver behind Empowered with Gina is having experience and experiencing life as a woman in this society. There are so many, as you know, definitions, categories, constraints placed upon us, expectations, and it becomes arresting. It paralyzes people. It paralyzes growth. It paralyzes creativity. It paralyzes confidence. And it is designed to keep people suppressed, especially women. We get the extra brunt of it because we're also typically the caregivers, the mothers, the rearers, and all the mom guilt. And I went through that for about 30-ish years of my life and always feeling I wasn't good enough. Something was wrong with me. I'm not the best daughter. I need to be doing more for everyone. I checked off all the education and the career and got the husband and got the white picket fence and got the kids and had this, and the vacations once a year, twice a year. I felt like trapped inside and I couldn't understand it. And so again, it wasn't until a couple of years later in COVID where I created a platform, a space for women to meet once a week during COVID when everything was so weird, and just creating a sounding board, starting to talk, just a flow of what I was going through, what my thoughts were, my philosophies on life, how I was approaching things. And out of that, fast forward 4.5 years now, I started Empowered with Gina as this space, as this platform for women who feel like me, who understand this. And there's so many women out there that feel this. They don't have the outlet. They don't have the community that they can talk to about this. People who are interested in growth, women who are interested in scaling and maybe not being okay with what's good enough. And so the outcomes for my clients is getting this kind of content, getting this accountability cheerleader, so to speak. And not only seeing me, talk the talk, but walking the walk every single day, because I showcase my life very openly on social media, just because I understand the power that representation matters. Seeing that someone else is doing it makes you feel less alone and makes you realize you can do it too. And it can be okay.
That's awesome. So I speak frequently about the need to improve financial literacy in our population, and doing my research on you, that's one of the things that you talk to your clients about. Can you speak in more detail about how you help your clients improve their financial acumen and their ability to build wealth and financial safety for themselves and their families?
So we all know that financial literacy is something not taught in any of the American school systems by design. And that's fine. We can't change that. But what we can change is what we choose to do about this lack of information. And so again, on my platform, knowing that I do have this broad reach now, I know also when women feel that way, they also have a lack of financial literacy. Traditionally, men are in charge of the money. Traditionally, women just aren't even educated about any of it and aren't encouraged to be educated about it. So
Right.
addressing those three things, I, through my platform, offer content, and I put together speaker series in person right now, speaking series, and I get top professionals, top experts in finance who come and speak to women, but they have to be women. Again, representation matters, because if you look like me and I know you
Right.
have kind of maybe walked my path, then I don't feel so dumb asking my questions. And one of the biggest hurdles is people not wanting to feel dumb, people not wanting to feel, ignorant about things, especially if they're older-ish, 30 and older. I want to make it approachable, relatable, easy to understand, because everyone does have the ability to understand investment and money, and not so much earning money, but creating wealth. Those are two very different concepts. And being that bridge to provide that content is the goal.
Yeah. Applause, a huge round of applause from the audience on that. The wealth management community, it's not a surprise that I am a white American male. I come from I'm a finance professor by training, and the finance community has loads and loads of advisors and investment analysts that look like me. But the population is much more diverse than that. So building a community of advisors and folks who are talking about financial acumen that matches the diversity of our society is absolutely the direction of travel. So Gina, congratulations for that. It wouldn't be the Balancing Act podcast without discussing a balancing act. And we're going to shift gears just a little bit to the law side of the equation after our commercial break. But before we go there, what's the most important balancing act that you have to play between your co-founder role at ZA Lawyers and what you're doing at Empowered with Gina?
So I'll change the question just slightly with one word. I don't have to do any of it. I get to.
You get to. Excellent.
Abundant mindset, right?
Yes.
It comes down to language every time.
Yep.
The art of delegation. People cannot grow, cannot scale, cannot do everything, be a mom of 6 kids through modern marriage, have life, take care of themselves, be a wife, be a partner, be a whatever, run a business, have their hobby. You can't do any of that by yourself. You cannot.
Right.
And again, this goes to the whole discussion of guilt and women guilt, super mom, boss babe, power woman. Yes, but no. It is actually setting you up for failure by doing that. Part of the balancing act, the key to balancing it all is, 1, you're not going to do it all, period. Number 2, the art of delegation. You can have it all. You just cannot do it all.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, we get conditioned that we're supposed to be superheroes in our story and be able to do it all, handle it all. And
sets you up for failure because you feel like
absolutely.
crap. You'll excel in one, professionally, your family falls apart. You focus on family, professionally, you're not going to be able to grow. It's possible.
All right. Well, we're going to take a really short commercial break and we'll be right back. Has trust broken down in your organization? Learn how smooth workflows enable accountability and unlock trust to create long-term business success. Learn more in my new book, The Balanced Business, available today at Amazon.com and wherever books are sold. And we are back with Gina Zapanta talking about the legal profession and empowering women to unlock their full potential. I got that straight from your website. Let's turn our attention now to the legal profession. I like to run thought experiments on the show. So let's suppose you have a high school graduate sitting right in front of you right now who has designs on someday becoming an attorney. What's your advice to help them achieve this goal? And if their parents are sitting right beside them, what should their parents or guardians know to help support their journey?
2 things. Number 1, school debt is a good debt. Don't be scared of it. Invest in yourself. It is looked upon kindly. You will not be penalized for it. Go for it. Do not be scared of that kind of debt. It is not like credit card debt. Number 2, get into any law school you can get into. Do not get trapped in I have to go to my dream school. I have to go to the best school. If I don't go to the school, no one's going to recognize. I'm going to tell you, I'm on this side of the game now. I don't know where any of my colleagues went to school. I don't know what grades they got. I don't know.
Right.
I don't even actually know if they truly are lawyers. If you want me to know, if you want me to tell you. But think about it. I'm telling you realistically, practically how it works is just pass the bar. Just pass the bar. Get into any ABA, American Bar Association approved school. I don't care if nobody's ever heard of it. Get through it. And is law school hard? Yes, but so is elementary school, high school, college. School is school is school. Period. Get out of your own way and just get it done.
Yeah. Be a lifelong learner. That's the message that I'm hearing there. And just do it. And, back to your point about debt, school debt is definitely a way to, but the thing I would add to that is finish.
Please.
Complete. Make it through. Persist, because the worst thing you can do is take out a bunch of debt and not finish. Right?
Please don't do that.
Yeah.
That is not good.
That is not good, and I've seen that movie more times than I care to. So you have done something very unique at East LA Community College. Continuing on our path for lawyers and conversation about education. It's called the ZA Lawyers Legal Leadership Institute. Yes. What's the program's purpose, and more importantly, how can other community colleges and universities mirror the program's successes to build more pathways for underserved populations into the legal profession?
Well, I would encourage all of those people interested in calling me because I can give them the template very happily. The Institute was born out of, again, understanding that socioeconomically depressed communities do not have access to education. If you don't have access to education, you're not going to have people who are in higher education, higher professions. We mentored a lot of students starting at high school and up. And consistently, when I start my talks to them, I say, show of hands, how many people actually know a lawyer? Few, 2, maybe 2. And guess what kind of lawyers they know? Immigration or criminal, period.
Yeah.
And then I ask, what do you think I am? No one ever thinks I'm a lawyer. But that's also part of the joke because I say, well, guess what? I look like you, or my family comes from a community like yours, or whatever it is. And understanding that I have the ability and responsibility with my education, with our resource, to create an opportunity to lift others up. They have the ability to do it. They just don't have a door open for them. They just don't have access. They have the ability. They're smart. They're capable. They're driven. They don't have the family support, financial support, community support. People don't even think like this from where they come. And so someone like me looks like a unicorn to them. But I'm not going to help everyone. But those 2 or 3 people that look at me with stars in their eyes like, what the heck is this? Their trajectory in life will be changed. And so I understand that. And I know a lot of people helped my parents along the way. But for their help, maybe I would not be here in this position. I probably would, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, I just would encourage our listeners to really hone in on this multiplier effect that Gina is talking about right now. You might only be through a leadership institute or some philanthropic venture to build other folks up. You might only be influencing 10, 15 individuals, but then think about the multiplier effect that those 10 or 15 go out in the community, they spread the message, and it's that multiplier effect is a beautiful thing.
Powerful.
Yeah. So Gina, I've got 3 lightning round questions for you. Most of my guests only get 2, but I'm going to give you 3 because with a little digging, question number 1, it turns out you've written a children's book.
Yes.
Yes. Please give us a brief glimpse into how that project fits into your overall story arc.
So the name of the book is 10% Magic, which I co-authored with my husband. And it is a financial literacy book, Harry Potter-esque, to make kids interested. We actually did focus groups and we did so much research to figure this out. We want them to learn about what is a bank account, what is tipping, what is FICO score, but put it in a fun, readable, entertaining fashion. And so we did that, and we give it out for free to community events, schools, anyone who'll take it. We're so happy. I'm like, just please read it. Don't just leave it on the table.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that is fantastic. That it is a financial literacy book. We just need so much more of that. Now, second lightning round question. I give you access to a time machine. You can send a very short message, like 280 characters, to an earlier version of Gina Zapanta. What's the message and what previous version of yourself do you choose to send it to?
I would send it to my 30-year-old self and say, you do not have to fit into what everyone is telling you have to do. Just because all your friends are getting married, just because everyone in your community is doing something a certain way, listen to that little fire in your pit of your stomach, because your gut brain, your gut intuition is your alignment. You will not be liked. People are not going to support you. The more you lean into that, the more people are going to think you're crazy, but you will be liberated and living truly aligned for yourself and have zero regrets.
Yeah. It's a great message. Final lightning round question. We are all works in progress. What are you focused on right now in your personal journey of growth as a leader?
Continuing to maintain my peacefulness and hyper focus on myself, because I can take anything on as long as I return to the baseline of peacefulness. It's not about the height of happiness consistently or, dealing with the negative parts of life. It's how quickly I can bounce back from either to maintain the peacefulness and get away from the ego and not live in that space, because everything is beyond me. I'm just a conduit of information and energy. And the ego is very powerful. We were taught to have a very, very prideful ego. And so I am very proud of myself that I continue to lean in every single moment of the day. Some days easier than others. And continuing to just maintain the path so that I can be an effective communicator of the information.
Yeah. It is so easy to get all spun up and it just, it ruins the day. It ruins everybody else's day. And boy, if you can build that skill and find those moments throughout the most chaos of just centering and breathing and taking that moment and then moving forward. So Gina, final question, what's next for you and where can folks learn more?
So people can learn more. We're very, very involved on social media. Instagram is where I put most of my stuff. It's my name, Gina Zapanta _ It's probably spelled somewhere here. Or Empowered with Gina. You can find me there too. And we're on TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. And next for me is writing a book, selling products, continuing to monetize and scale Empowered with Gina to continue to grow this beautiful community and platform. And as well, continue to scale our law firms to offer top-notch quality legal services to the state of California and Louisiana, actually. So.
Excellent.
Yes.
Well, I will be your ally and rooting you on from the sidelines as you continue to grow your platform. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate it.
All right. My name is Andy Temte. This is the Balancing Act podcast. You can find us on all the major streaming services. Please like, subscribe, rate, and most importantly, share this public good with your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues. We had some really important messages today. The show is produced by Nick Temte, and we will see you next time on The Balancing Act.